Moving on to Friday night, we have a Big Ten matchup between Northwestern on the road at Maryland. The Terps are 10-point home favorites, and this game carries an over-under of 45.5 points. Kicks off Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Northwestern, they actually return a big piece to their team. Defensive captain, starting defensive lineman Carmine Bastone, he is back after not playing at all this year so far. That's a big boost to the run defense. He's a big presence in the middle. Again, captain, leader. He's a huge boost to get back for the Wildcats. But I'm still concerned about Cam Porter, the workhorse back for Northwestern. He's been hurt. He missed week 5 against Washington, and Northwestern scored 5 total points. And then he was limited to 6 carries in the following game against Indiana. But he was a full participant at practice on Monday, kind of pointing toward, he may be able to come back in a full workload. But if he's even banged up a little bit and they have to pull him, that's tough for Northwestern's offense. The biggest mismatch on this field, though, we're talking about Maryland quarterback Billy Edwards and the receiver Ty Felton against the Northwestern passing defense. Northwestern's defense is 127th in EPA per pass. They've not been able to slow it down by any stretch of the imagination. And Felton, he's outstanding. I mean, just a terrific player. He's got the top wide receiver grade with minimum 25 targets at PFF and 4th in yards per route run. Love that yards per route run metric. It's a very comprehensive look at who is doing the most with every route that they're running. How often are they being targeted and kind of what are they doing with it? And Felton's a top 5 receiver per that metric in the country. Now, a concern that I do have, and this one needs a bit of context, but I do think it is valid. Mike Locksley, man, he is 3-7 straight up coming off a bye at Maryland. And you might say, well, they're probably taking byes ahead of Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, but that really hasn't been the case. They were 14-point favorites last year against Northwestern coming off a bye. They lost that outright. Back in 2019, they were 4-point favorites against UCF off a bye. They lost that outright. They didn't cover as short dogs against Indiana in 20 or as 5-point dogs against Wisconsin in 2022. I don't know what he's doing with those bye weeks, but whatever it is, it hasn't been working up until now because a 3-7 straight up record off a bye is pretty inexcusable, especially with the cast of opponents that they have been playing. Favor twice, short dogs twice. You should expect to win at least a few of those games. I do like Maryland's ability to throw the ball here, though. I mean, I really think that that's the biggest edge on the field. Northwestern's most competitive game, they kind of fell apart at the end versus Indiana. Now, this is the interesting part, and I think where I take my angle on this game. Northwestern's only forced 2 fourth-quarter punts on 12 fourth-quarter drives this year. That's not saying that teams are scoring every time. There's turnover on downs, but forcing just 2 punts in the fourth quarter, and it's like the first drive of the fourth quarter usually for them. At the end of the game, they're just not stopping opposing offenses whatsoever. So I do think that there's going to be a live opportunity that's better than the number that we have right now for Maryland if they get off to a poor start and that number does come down a bit. That's potentially a live halftime bet if you can get it within a touchdown there. I do think Maryland's the better team. If you're forcing a hand at a pre-live play, I would probably take the points with Maryland if I had to go either way here. But hop on over to our Discord. There you can connect with over 4,000 sports betting fans and get live updates in our college football server. There, you can join a sharp and very active community mid-October, never busier than it is right now. And don't forget to subscribe to the Lines for weekly college football odds and betting videos all season long. Subscribe to us on your podcasting app of choice, be it Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever you're using these days, and drop us a good review if you liked what you heard here. But thank you so much as always for watching. I'm Brett Gibbons. We'll see you next time.